Here's the thing most CRO teams don't want to admit. They're sending reports that look busy, but don't actually prove revenue impact. You know the type: charts, bounce rates, color tests, maybe even a fancy dashboard. But ask one simple question: how did this grow revenue? And you get crickets. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 5 things your CRO team should be reporting every month, whether they're in-house or an agency. Because if it's not tied to outcomes, it's just noise. Hey, I'm Idris from Clickaloo. We help mid to large D2C and B2C brands turn paid traffic into predictable revenue by fixing broken landing pages and building conversion systems that scale. Before Clickaloo, I ran CRO in-house for one of the biggest vehicle marketplaces in the US. So I've been in those rooms where reporting either earns trust or tanks the whole program. And the truth is, most CRO reporting doesn't fail because of bad results. It fails because it doesn't communicate value. So let's fix that. Let's start with the number 1 CRO reporting mistake I see. We ran 6 tests this month. Okay, but what happened? Which ones won? What was the actual uplift? How much revenue did it create or save? Most reports show test number 4, CTA color result plus 2.5% conversion rate. Cool, but was that test statistically significant? Did it run long enough? And more importantly, did that lift matter to the business? Because a 2% lift on a form that only gets 100 visits a month, that's not a win, that's a distraction. Here's how it should sound. Test 3 added urgency messaging to checkout. Result: 8.3% lift in final conversions. Estimated $19,000 a month in added revenue just from paid traffic. Now that's impact. And even if a test fails, the team should still say, didn't move the needle? Here's our theory why. Here's the next thing we're testing. That kind of clarity builds trust. But even real wins don't matter if they're solving the wrong problem. Let's say your team's reporting wins. That's great. But here's the next question. Where in the funnel are those wins happening? Because if I don't know that, I can't prioritize. Are we improving the hero section, above the fold, the start of the form, step 2 of the sign up, or the final checkout? That context is everything. An example is we found a 31% drop between step 1 and step 2 on the form. So we simplified input fields. The result: plus 17% lift in step completion. That's 940 more qualified leads every month. Now you've got the CRO team speaking the same language as sales, product, and the CFO. And that's when testing becomes a business tool, not just a marketing experiment. But even that clarity falls flat if you don't learn from what didn't work. Let me say something a little controversial. Win rate is a bad success metric. If your CRO team is winning 80% of the time, they're not being bold enough. The best testing programs aren't afraid of losses. They embrace them, because most testing programs, majority of the tests actually lose. Every failed test should come with a clear learning. What did we think would happen? What actually did? And what will we do with that? Too many teams treat failed tests like dead ends, but great teams say, this didn't work, but here's the behavior pattern we spotted. So now we're going to tweak the messaging and retest a narrow segment. That's how we turn a neutral result into a strategic next step. This exact process led to a $74,000 a month win, and I'll discuss that later in the video, so stick around. Here's a question that almost no one in CRO reports answers well. Who did this work for? Because it matters. Whether 12% lift came from cold mobile users, high-intent search traffic, loyal returning customers. Let's say organic blog readers converted 12% more. Cool. But compare that to just a 4% lift from Google search ads, where each lead is worth $300. That's the win you want to chase. So your report should break down results by traffic source, device type, new versus returning, intent level, or offer exposure. That's how you spot your conversion gold mines, and that's how you decide where to double down next. Which brings us to the last and most overlooked reporting habit. Here's where most reports totally miss the mark. They stop at what already happened, but execs don't just want a recap. They want a roadmap. So every great CRO report should include, here's what we're testing next, here's why we're testing it, here's what success would look like, and here's how it ties to our business goals. This changes everything. Suddenly, CRO isn't just reacting, it's shaping creative strategy, influencing product decisions, and aligning with revenue targets. You'll know when it's working when leadership starts asking, what's CRO working on next? Instead of, wait, are we still running tests? We worked with the D2C beauty brand. Their agency was running 5 to 7 tests a month. Looked solid on paper, but revenue? Flat. When we reviewed the reporting, here's what we saw. No funnel mapping, no segmentation, no hypothesis, no forecasting. So we rebuilt it from scratch. By month 2, they were reporting funnel stage impact, traffic segment breakdowns, clear learnings, and a prioritized roadmap. By month 3, 3 key tests added $74,000 a month in revenue. What changed? Not just better tests, better clarity. If your CRO reports aren't giving you this level of clarity, you're not seeing the full value of your investment. At Clickaloo, we build CRO systems that tie every test to business outcomes, so you know exactly what's working, what's not, and what's next. If you're ready to stop guessing, book a strategy session below. No pressure, just clarity.